अस्सलाम वालेकुम लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, मैं हूं नाइला शुजा और आप देख रहे हैं द सोशल फ्लो सीजन 2 and we have a lot in store for you. We're going to talk to some very interesting people. We're going to have you meet them, well, digitally, and then we're going to have their opinions and perspectives, and we're going to talk about everything, not just locally, domestically, nationally, regionally, but in terms of the international structure as well. So today we're going to be meeting with Dr. Azhar Ahmed, who is the head of Department for Humanities and Social Sciences here at Bahria University. We're going to talk to him about everything that he's done in the past year and a half and the upcoming events that he has in store for us. Also, he's written a book that we're going to be talking to him about, and we're going to learn about his perspective on the world today. Assalamu alaikum sir, kaise hain aap?
Assalamu alaikum, bilkul theek, aap khairiat se hain?
Allah ka shukr hai sir. Sir, welcome to the Social Flow Season 2.
Thank you.
You are our first guest, and it is truly an honor to have you here.
Privilege for me.
Sir, no, it's our privilege. So sir, my first question is basically, you've been a part of the Navy for quite some time, and I know it's a very cliche question, but you've been a part of the Navy for quite some time. So what made you want to get into the Navy? What was your aspiration?
Well, I'll have to go a long time back in my life. I think since my father was in the military, I had that, you can say, love or attraction for the uniform. So I always wanted to be in uniform. Luckily, the first opportunity came in the Navy. I applied for the Navy because my father was more attracted towards the Navy rather than Army. It has a very unique identity. The Navy's life is very different from the other two services, and you get to see a lot of the world, you travel a lot. So with that attraction in mind, seeing new worlds, I joined the Navy, and looking back, I think I had an excellent time there.
But you're also a doctor, so how did that come into the equation?
Well, I'm a PhD doctor to start with, and I was not a doctor when I joined the Navy. I was also attracted towards books. I think I got it from my father. Very early in life, he handed over books to us, particularly being the youngest and closest to him. I got most of the attention. So I learnt to learn. I started reading, and throughout in service also, in Navy also, whenever I got an opportunity to get associated with academics, I took that opportunity. So most of my time in Navy also, especially in the later years, I was somehow associated with teaching or education. I have been training commander in Human Resource Development Center in the Navy. Then I was chief instructor in Pakistan Navy War College.
Oh, wow.
So I was already into academics. That was close to me. And after retirement, I thought now that this is the career that I want to pursue for the rest of my life. So I did my PhD after my retirement from the Navy.
Oh, wow. So I'm sorry, how did you even think about doing your PhD? I'm sorry to ask you, but how old were you, and what was that motivation to actually do a PhD at that level, and what was the subject that you mastered in?
Well, I guess I was about 47, 48 when I started my PhD. And I really think the purpose, now PhD has unfortunately become a commercial degree only. Actually, in my opinion, the purpose of PhD is that you give something to the society, to the world, whatever you have learnt, and you have developed a certain expertise in a particular aspect of life, in a particular subject. You should be able to give something to PhD. And for that, you need to have something to, if you have just started your education and you are just going through that, what new are you going to give to the society? So I think it's a very appropriate age to do a PhD, because you have a lot in your bag that you can share with the society. And naturally, since I had spent most of my time in the Navy with the maritime sector, so it was only appropriate that I take a subject that is related to maritime. So my study was basically focused on elements of maritime power, but I took Gwadar as a case study because Gwadar at that time was emerging. It was not very popular, still people didn't know much about Gwadar, but it was in the air and it was understood that it's going to be very relevant. So I did my PhD focusing on that, and from there I
you produced this masterpiece.
Able to produce one little book which has been translated in the Chinese language also.
Yeah.
So it is published in China. So that I think is a contribution.
Accomplishment, yes, and a contribution as well. So you've been appointed in Bahria University for almost a year. Is that correct?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. So I want to know, well, we're all dying to know, what changes have you brought about within this department that the students might not know of?
Well, I'm not one who makes a lot of claims. I'm happy if I can do little bit fine tuning here and there. So I think it's up to the others really to say if there is any change or not. What I have tried to do is really to first make people understand what social sciences is. It's a very different department, and it was being treated like any other department, because it is not one department or one subject. It's an amalgamation of many different subjects. So that's sometimes people don't understand how to treat this department. So I think I have made that awareness a bit better. Then I have added, we used to have anthropology sometimes back in the Navy, but that program was stopped. I restarted that anthropology program. I added Masters, MS in International Relations, and now with the next semester, inshallah, we'll be starting PhD in International Relations.
Wow.
Plus MS in Anthropology and Development Studies. So we are moving, we are expanding really, especially we are looking forward to this new building that is coming up. As soon as we have space, at the time we are constrained because of the space, and then you know that we gave the first students week to the university.
Yes.
And that is also an accomplishment of Humanities and Social Sciences department. So still there's a lot to go, lot of work to do. I think I have got a good team. They are supporting me, so I'm slowly and gradually trying to make a difference.
Now, with that difference that you're trying to make, what is your action plan for the year or academic year of 2017 and 2018? Yeah,
as I just said, we are adding a few programs in all the categories. We have in the university added economics also, which is a social sciences subjects. For the time being, it's being handled by MS department, but soon it will be transferred to the social sciences department. Then, as I said, in anthropology and development studies and IR, we are expanding. And I've also proposed establishing a new think tank, China Study Center. Again, we are waiting for that. As soon as the new space comes up, it has been agreed officially. And we are also starting a language center.
All right.
Where not only English, we have a very strong faculty in English, but we'll also go for other languages. The first one that comes to mind is Chinese,
Definitely.
of course. So that language center is also coming up soon. So I think we have our hands full, and sky is the limit.
Yes, that is true. But I want to personally know what makes Bahria University's Humanities and Social Sciences department different from the other universities? Because we have a lot of young individuals who want to apply to different universities, and they want to come into the liberal arts, or they want to come into the humanities and social sciences. So they apply to different universities and they're not sure which one's better. But they usually go on the name or they go on the location. But what is from the core, what makes Bahria University's Humanities and Social Sciences department so unique?
Well, for those who are watching this program, you are our brand ambassador. You are a student of Humanities and Social Sciences, so
Yes.
I can show the people how good we are doing. Besides that, I think we have a very brilliant, capable, passionate faculty. It's important, really. Knowing the subject is one thing, but being passionate about teaching is another. So I think we have a very good faculty, an amalgam of young and experienced faculty members. So that is our strength. Our location is a strength. The facilities that are provided here, how many universities can boast of a TV station and an FM station and an entire Wi-Fi campus
Connected,
that you see. So that very much is there. Then Bahria University is a university that is looking forward.
Yeah.
We, as you know, we keep changing, we keep adopting new techniques in teaching. We provide exposure to our students, which is more important, because nowadays learning a subject is not an issue. You just Google and everything is
Right
there.
in front of you.
But that human interaction, that exposure, the kind of guest speakers that come here, the conferences and seminars and workshops that are carried out over here, fortunately we were able to take a lead since last year that I have joined Humanities and Social Sciences, the one which is bringing in more guest speakers and from different parts of life, very eminent speakers. So I think there is a lot, and as I said, that we prepare human beings.
Yeah.
We are not preparing
Machines.
students, as they said, and I don't count. There is a misperception in the academia somewhere that students are our products. I don't treat students as our products, you see. So we are developing good human beings, and if we are able to produce good human beings and give them to the society, that is the biggest contribution. And if I can add, we have, as you know, the program Bachelor in Social Sciences, which is again a rare degree. Probably in this Twin Cities, I think there's only one other university which is offering a BSS. Nobody else is offering a BSS.
Yes.
So that is also very unique and different for Bahria University.
You mentioned you have experienced teachers. Now, what I would like to know is that how are you maintaining that level of quality? How is that quality of education being transferred? You've mentioned that you have trainings and workshops for your staff as well as your students. But how do you assure that quality of knowledge and experience being transferred to the student?
I think that's a very good question, and the key, if you have to run a university or any academic institution for that matter, your teaching faculty has to be good.
Yeah.
Right? If they are not good, you can do any cosmetics, it will not work.
Yeah.
But if they are good, then even if you don't put in a lot of investment on other things, they will be able to produce. So in Bahria University, we have a very institutionalized system of inducting faculty members. There's a lot. First, we keep on hunting. We are not really limited to ads in the newspaper and those who come and apply. My formula is really to go and find out where you have a better person and then try to
extract them,
entice them into the fold, which is not very difficult given the characteristics of the Bahria University. But then we have interviews at the departmental level. Once the departmental interview committee clears certain individuals, then they go to the headquarters, and then at the top level they are interviewed with the pro-rector and DG in chair, and then the recommended candidate is interviewed by the rector himself personally. So I think it's a good process, and naturally we see both experience as well as that youthful spark, that because we need both. We need young blood, also some brilliant students, our own students. I prefer my own graduates who have done well to join. Quite a few have, recently joined us. So it has to be a combination. It goes as a package.
All right. So you also mentioned how you're creating skilled students. What skills are you investing or teaching your students so they cannot just be products for the market to obtain? You're actually producing students and individuals who are well-rounded and well-shaped. So what are some qualities that you feel that humanities and social sciences is producing or is investing in their students to, carry forward with them?
To start with, humanities, so it should be human. One has to be given that basic knowledge to be a good human being. Right. Then coming to the social path, you need to be part of the society. You are a family, you are a member of the society, you are not individual. You see, somehow, I don't say everybody, but some academic institutions somehow isolate the student from the rest of the society. They're just bogged down into that. I have to become engineer, so he's just fit in that framework of an engineer. The doctor is in a particular framework, and they have to think doctor and all that. Sometimes people really tell me I'm a bit unconventional, even when the students join my department. Now everybody is telling them that you have come to the right place and you should stick to it, and I'm the one who is telling them review, explore, go see what is happening in other departments also, take a course or two from other departments also, and see that you really belong to that life. You really want to do that for the rest of your life, because normally our students and even our parents are not trained to guide. Our education system does not provide you that guidance, so you don't know at this age. There's still student thinking, what am I gonna do?
I was one of them. I was personally one of them.
You know that. So we need to encourage them. We don't need to tell them what to do, but we need to give them opportunities so that they see themselves where they fit in, what is their aptitude, what good they do. Every individual, God has put in some marvelous qualities. You only have to tap those qualities and that. So really, exposure, as I said, I have a lot of emphasis on exposure, communication skills, expression. This is an age of expression. Even if you have knowledge, And if you can't express yourself, whether in writing or orally,
Yeah.
that knowledge is not
It is-
much of an help, really.
Yeah.
So those are the basic qualities. Then, of course, that's a long debate. Every subject has some peculiar tools and skills that you provide them. Research methodology is an emphasis in my field, and that is very important. So we put in a lot of emphasis on that, and different really skills that are required, but that depends on particular subject and particular students in which area of study they want to pursue their life in.
Well, that was very informative. And sir, well, we'll be right back. We just have to take a small break. So ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We're sitting with Dr. Azhar and we'll be right back. Back, ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting here with Dr. Azhar Ahmed, who is the HOD of Humanities and Social Sciences Department here at Bahria University. We have been talking to him about his leadership progression and how he came from a army background. No, army background, then a Navy as a young man, and now he's in a educational field where he has a far more difficult job, which is basically inspiring the youth of today, and that is a difficult task all on its own.
But very interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting, and you've managed to do a lot for this department. But let's talk more about your co-curricular activities. I mean, you've done so much for the university, but what are your co-curricular activities?
Well, I've been a good sportsman, if I can say that,
yes,
all my life. Now with age that is reducing, so I'm mostly limited now to golf. So whenever I find time, which is difficult in Bahria University, so only on weekends, I do play golf. I walk regularly, daily, and I read.
Okay. Any favorite genres?
To be honest, no. I keep switching. I keep switching according to my job, according to the work that I am doing at the moment. Whatever, if I'm working on China, then my concentration is everything on
China.
If I am on Gwadar, then I am
trying to find everything on Gwadar.
There on Gwadar. So my subjects keep switching, and I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, now because of so much of the work that is there, because I'm doing research also, I'm writing papers, I'm looking forward to another book also. I don't really find time to go for that lighter stuff that I used to enjoy, some poetry or some novels or sometime. It's been quite some time that I've really not done that. So mostly it's serious study.
Okay. You mentioned that you play golf as well.
I do.
So I have a quick question. What is your handicap?
12.
12. Okay.
Not bad.
Is that good or bad? I'm not sure.
It is pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay. And so on the weekends, how many holes do you play? Full 18s?
Usually 9.
9. Okay. Okay.
18 very rarely.
Very rarely. So do you have a group of old teammates and from your service? That
Young
you all
teammates.
Sorry, like
we are not old.
No, I meant like old as in from your time in the Navy, that you all come together and play.
Yes. Mostly we have a few. We just play together.
All right.
But sometimes you find time to play with newer players also.
So when you go for golfing, do you feel like it's relaxing in terms of mental stress? You're relieved of that, and if there's any physical tension, you feel at ease. And if your children are too out of control and you feel like I need to go to play golf, I need to calm myself, I need to collect myself? Is it some sort of therapy for you?
It is indeed. It is indeed, because golf is a game which requires a lot of focus
and patience
and a lot of patience. They say it's a game. You see, the other games you tell them that they have a court length of this and ground length. They say golf is played on a ground which is 8 inches wide, this between your ears. So it's only in the brain, whatever you are doing. And your competition is also with yourself and with the surroundings. Not really. So that feeling of rivalry, negative rivalry, is not there. And environment, you know, the best of the environment, this greenery, trees, nature. So it is very soothing. It is very relaxing. Of course, if you do hit a wrong shot, that can frustrate also. But at the end of the day, I think, and physically also, people don't realize it's a pretty tough game. If you are just playing 9 holes, that means you are walking 4-5 kilometers.
Given.
And with that swing and all that up and down, and
motion,
especially our course, that Margala Greens, that in Naval Complex, that is in the foothills. So you literally, it's a hard track going up and down. It's tough. So both physically and mentally, I think it's very challenging, but very rewarding game.
Do you feel like, oh sorry, let me ask you, what's your favorite club? What's your favorite club? I mean, do you like the 7-iron more, or do you like, you know, the putter, I guess? I'm not sure what it's called.
Like a pro.
No.
So you are familiar with the game.
I feel like it's a game for people who've accomplished a lot in their lives and they just need to relax. So I feel like I need to go work a little bit, gain experience, and then one day I'll be capable enough to play golf.
I think the club I'm most comfortable with is probably 8-iron.
8-iron.
Or then of course the driver, because it can get you longer. So
all right. So now you have recently come out with a book. It is called Gavadir Balance in Transition, and it's been translated in Chinese as well. So would you like to briefly tell us about this book that you've written?
Yes, naturally. I always love to. Well, as I said in the beginning, when I started my PhD, it was not primarily to seek a job or to seek another higher degree. The purpose was really to educate myself first and then pay back to what the society has given me, what this country has given me. So I thought this is an area, maritime, which is the most neglected area. This is first of its kind in that area. And then Gavadir was also coming up. So while I could have focused on Gavadir, this itself was good enough for a book or for a PhD thesis. I wanted to give out more. So I put myself into trouble, challenge. I went into various directions. I started with explaining power. What is power? What is national power? How does it interact in international relations? And then I moved to the maritime sector. What are elements of maritime power? Because people don't really understand. Then I applied those elements of maritime power to Pakistan. Pakistan, being a maritime state, has not been really recognized as such. And then from that elements of maritime power, I focused to ports and shipping, and particularly to Gavadir. And then I did some extensive work on Gavadir, things which are new. I can say that very proudly, that there's a lot in this study, I was lucky that I could lay my hands on some material that was not accessible to people, some documents from British India declassified. So I could actually learn the history of Gwadar, which is so far incorrectly published. They say history is written by the victor. That is very true. In our case also, British wrote something, Lord Curzon wrote something, and then everybody is reproducing that. Even in our text, even our academics, we are giving the wrong history. So I have tried to put that also into perspective. So I think it has something for the history lovers. It has something for the IR people, for more for those who are interested in the maritime field, and particularly now everybody seems to be interested in Gwadar and CPAC. There's a lot on. So
it's very relevant. Now, where can we find this book? Is it available in the markets as of yet, or is it just limited to universities right now?
So far, as I said, the book has been published in China. So I'm still waiting for my books to arrive. I'm told because their Independence Day celebrations are going on. So after that, probably they will send me the books. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I should be able to launch this book by the end of this month, hopefully. So then it will be available in the market. At the moment, it is not available.
It's just restricted access only, confidential only.
Yes, you and me.
Okay, so now I just have one more question. What are your consultation hours for your students? Should they have any problems or inquiries or concerns that they want to highlight to you?
Well, as a university policy, you know that every faculty member needs to have consultation hours, at least 2 hours specified, so that the students know. They are there on the doors of every faculty member, so every student knows that this is the time that faculty member is available. But personally, I think I am available to my students. I am available all the time. They just need to check that I am there in the office. My office is open. I don't stop people coming from there. That makes my job a little difficult. But I think it is important to provide that access to
free access to everyone,
the students, so they can come and talk to me. I tell them, if you want to talk to the HOD, then there is a process. But if you want to talk to your teacher, then I am available. And then, of course, nowadays we are on Facebook, Turnitin, this social media, WhatsApp, so it becomes really easy to get in touch.
Far more easier to communicate.
I rather enjoy talking to the students. It's always a good feeling.
Were there any funny incidents that you might want to share with us?
Well, they keep happening. I think maybe that if we point out, it's not good for somebody's privacy. But yes, if you are dealing with students of that age, it's a daily issue. Something happens on the daily basis.
What might be an issue for them may just be, come on, you know, you're old enough, fix your problems.
That's true.
Okay. Well, that's all the time that we have for you today. I'd like to thank Dr. Azhar Ahmed for joining us here at the Social Flow Season 2. Hopefully, we've removed a few barriers of communication, and as he's mentioned, his door is always open and is welcome to all that need to speak to him, to discuss anything with him, and just to, you know, talk to him. So thank you so much for watching, and once again, thank you, Dr. Azhar, for joining us. Thank you. See you soon. Allah Hafiz.